I already know people are gonna be like, Clancy, you have a problem. This is not okay. Well, Mom, do you want to share the tragic update or do I? I think it is pretty evident that I'm in a bit of a funk.
I had a feeling you'd come back and save me.
I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do.
Today is the day that I may or may not go insane. Really wish I was kidding. I am not. I've been trapped in this house since Monday. It is now Wednesday. Basically, our car broke, so we had to obviously take it to the shop. And whatever the problem is, when I say our car, by the way, it's my parents' car. Like, my car is in Ohio, but I've been using their car. So we took it to the shop, and whatever the problem is, it's a long one to fix, and it sounds like it's gonna be expensive too. So we have just been without a car, my mom and me, because my dad is in Ireland visiting his mom and family and all of that. And listen, if this happened in the summertime, it'd be different because I could walk around. I could even walk places. I mean, you guys know I've said before, I live in a very small town on Long Island, but I could still walk to like the coffee shop, things like that. I mean, there's snow on the ground. It's 20 degrees. I'm not walking around. I know I could, but I'm not. So we are now on day 3 of lockdown. I left my house once in 3 days, and that was just to do pickleball on Monday. So that's where we're at. I have to say, I have been taking advantage of this downtime where I started working on a book. And this is the laptop we got my mom for Christmas, but she has not used yet. So finally a month went by and I decided, you know what? I'm not like taking this laptop or anything, but while I'm here, I'm gonna start working on the book on this laptop just because mine has been a little bit slow lately. It's just kind of an old laptop at this point. I probably will need to upgrade it within the year, unfortunately. So I've just been working on the book. It has been over a week and I still have not written one sentence in the book because I'm working on the outline. Like obviously, at least for the type of book I'm writing a thriller. That's like the only type of book I like to read. You have to really have it all mapped out. Like you need to know the end, you need to have twists, you need to, really what I'm doing right now is finding holes in the book. Like, but wait, if that happens, then that wouldn't make sense. And it's kind of driving me crazy, but I am determined. I'm determined, like, I need to map this out. Like I'm so close, I really am, but I keep changing characters. I'm changing protagonists and antagonists, which is kind of crazy. And it's been one of those things. And it's one of those things where like, I physically can't just sit here and knock it out. Like if I lose inspiration, I have to go on to do something else. And then like I'm doing that thing and then something else will come to me. It's just been a weird process. So that's my Wednesday. This is literally probably just gonna be my entire Wednesday, working on this book, or the outline, I should say. And I'm just so excited. It's been so much fun. And I never do this. I never tell people about the books I'm working on or the plot and all of that. But Zach was interested and I told him, and he's actually been coming up with ideas for me, which Zach is good with that. Like he doesn't like writing, he's not a reader, but he's an idea man. Actually, our text right now, I can even pop this on the screen. I said to him, if anyone looks at my Google history, it looks like I'm a killer. So if I get accused of anything, this is proof that it's all for a book, LOL. My Google history is all over the place, like about hiding bodies, killing people. It's just not good. And so he said, that's what a killer would want to have, a reason for looking innocent, LOL. And then he gave me an idea about Rory. And then I said the book will be the death of me, because it truly will. But I've been having a lot of fun, and it's been really nice to like put my creativity into something else other than just YouTube. So it's been fun, but I'm gonna go crazy. Also, I said it before that my friend Carly is the reason I even started writing this book, because she told me she was writing one. She's actually writing 3 right now. 2 of them are children's books. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like it just inspired me. And she recommended this podcast that I really like. It's called Fiction Writing Made Easy by Savannah Gilbo. And I'm gonna pop her face on the screen because I was telling Carly, I feel like a lot of the writers who give tips are honestly just like old men. Like I just feel like that's seriously what it has been. So I'm like, wow, she looks like us, like just like a younger female. So I've been loving that. I would love to tell you that it is currently just a little bit later in the day, but no, today's Friday. I did not vlog for the rest of Wednesday, didn't pick up the camera yesterday. Finally, we do have a rental car, so I am able to leave my house. It's just been crazy. It's been freezing. Like, do you see my face right now? Walter and I just went for a walk. Like, I thought I was gonna throw up of coldness. I think it's like maybe 20 degrees. Like, it's not good out there. But yeah, I just this has not been a good week for me. It really hasn't. We'll talk more later, but we have a car. I can finally go places. Because, like, obviously, if you don't have a car in the city, it's whatever. But to not have a car in the suburbs... I just looked it up on my phone, and for the record, it feels like outside is 8 degrees. So I feel a little bit vindicated. But right now, I'm doing my makeup for no reason. Like, quite literally no reason. I have nowhere to be today wearing makeup. I mean, I'm playing pickleball later, but obviously I don't put on makeup for pickleball. But I just need to, like, get myself together because I have spent this entire freaking week with just my hair in a bun, lazy. I mean, granted, it's not by choice. I just truly have had no way to get around. I understand I could Uber, but when you look at the prices of Ubers, it's like, all right, like, I don't have to go do this, do that. It's definitely been like the definition of being in a funk this week. And you know what? This happens every single year, especially February. I've always had a thing against February. It's just not really my month because it's just so freaking cold, and it's when I really start to get sick of winter. January is not great, but February, it's like we are over this. Also, I feel like I have so many things to update you guys on. For one, in my last vlog, I was talking about how it felt like both of my feet were broken. I came to the conclusion, I'm pretty sure it was plantar fasciitis. I don't know. It was just, I've never experienced anything like it. And my feet are feeling a lot better. It's there. Like, the pain is there when I run. I really haven't been exercising except for pickleball. And finally, I think tomorrow I'm going to return to the gym. But I've just taken a full week of just not moving. And obviously, I think that, like, messes with your mind too when you're literally just sitting in a chair all day. I really don't know what it was, but I got new shoes. I spent $150 on them, but I just wanted the best that I could possibly get because my feet are just shot. So those have been helping a lot. And they helped me through, you guys know, I was in a pickleball tournament. I got a little bit of footage of other people playing, but I really wasn't able to vlog just because there were so many people around, so I didn't want to set up my camera on the ground like I normally do because I was scared someone would kick it. Bad news, guys. Carly and I came in second place. Our friend Joe and Carly's sister were victorious. They beat us in the championship and they earned it. I mean, like, it was a close game. I think it was like 12-10, but it was a good freaking game. But the thing that's so addicting with pickleball is, like, I see my mistakes. Like, I see where I went wrong and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got it. Next time, like, I know what I did wrong. And I think visiting Zach in Ohio next week will really cheer me up. This is the longest we have gone without seeing each other. I actually was originally going to go this weekend, but then I thought, oh, how great would it be if I went for the Super Bowl? Because I thought the Bengals were going to be in the Super Bowl, but then they freaking lost. But yeah, I am picking back up this vlog. I just have been needing a second to just decompress. And as for the book, that's been another frustration. Just, it's not going well. I'm still in the outlining phase. I'm seeing so many holes with the plot, and it's just, it's not going well. And it's also one of those things when I'm planning a book, like, I can't just sit there and plan. It kind of has to come to me in everyday life. When I'm showering or even just talking to someone, like, that's when I'm like, oh wait, no, like, this character needs to do this. Like, it can't just be me sitting in front of a blank screen for the outlining process. So I've been trying to just, like, forget about it and go about my day-to-day life, but there hasn't been much to do since I've been stuck at home. I'm sorry, I'm complaining so much. I don't know, I just want to be real with you guys that, like, this week has not been a good one, but it's fine. We're gonna be okay. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so happy because my mom is not here and Walter came up to hang out with me while I get ready, which he never does. Like, he's a really tough cookie to crack. He won't just love you. Also, I'm about to do my eyebrows, or I started this one, but I'm about to completely do them. I've been considering getting, microblading, because my eyebrows, when they're not filled in, are horrendous. Like, you know those, I think it's a lot of people who are Italian, just people who have, like, darker, thicker hair tend to have great eyebrows naturally. And that is not the case with me. Like, they're just so light and not great. Granted, I destroyed them. Insert footage here. Guys, it is one of the most embarrassing things to look back on. Like, how did I walk around as a human in this world looking like that. That was me when I attempted to tweeze them. And then when I was a reporter in Dayton, I went to her all the time. She must have just like messed up. She waxed off half my eyebrow. So that was great. I just have not had good eyebrows. So I've been considering it, but I don't know if it's worth the money, if I'll like it. Do any of you guys have experience? Because I feel like I would consider it. Eyebrows are like so important. They kind of frame your whole face. I love those paws are just like hanging off. My parents still get the newspaper delivered to their house every day, and this right here is why I will never be moving back home. Long Island home prices up 66% in the last decade. It is insane. I also got a fun little Amazon package in the mail. I really have been going hard on Amazon lately, but it's not my fault. They have just like such great necessities, and I can't believe it, like the prices are just so much better than anywhere else. Dun, da, da, da. I got these glass straws because in order to drink my protein smoothie, I was using these plastic straws my parents had, but obviously I don't want to keep buying plastic. And I'm not kidding when I say drinking my smoothies with a straw makes it taste better. Like the experience is totally different. I need a straw.
Have you walked him?
When I say I thought I was gonna die. I was like, this might be the end. Well, Mom, do you want to share the tragic update or do I?
You do.
Well, it's you.
Because people must think that we make this up after a while.
Well, we're not making it up. Basically, bad news on the MRI for her knee.
I had the right knee was supposed to have surgery, but then I hurt the left knee. I had already had an MRI on it and it showed some damage. But when I went to the doctor, I said, you don't understand, I can't do the right knee. My left knee is so much worse now. I don't know why. So we just redid the left MRI. And of course, I was right. Tear of the meniscus from the root, which is a pretty serious tear. He said people my age don't do well with healing of that, and especially me because of all my other crap.
Well, might I add, you're supposed to be on bed rest, and what are we doing right now?
Bed rest?
Well, essentially, you're supposed to not walk.
For the rest of my life?
Just for a month. You've been disobedient.
I did 2 weeks.
And you've been not wearing your brace. I'm like the mother here. Like, you have to. You have to.
Yeah, the brace was bothering me. We're gonna get this under control.
We will. You need to, like, I just need to do your grocery shopping and everything. Like, yeah. I don't
You're
mind.
gonna put me on a diet.
No,
I'll be eating what you eat. And that's another thing. I cannot gain any more weight every time. This has been going on for a couple of years. Like, okay, don't walk for a month, don't walk for a month, don't.
No, you'll get back. Yeah. It's just gonna be like a little bit of rest. Anyway, we're outside my cousin's and we are going to our spot, our town
We
for
want
lunch.
to put Sean on.
This is your last hurrah, essentially. Before I put you on, you're not allowed to leave.
And put me on a diet, I won't mind.
No, Mom.
Hello, Clancy.
Oh my God. All right, you want to take over the vlog and tell a story?
Tell a story of how Sean must think I'm a weirdo.
You're not a weirdo.
I know you think I'm a weirdo. So Sean and I go for our lunches after every, football game that we bet on for our Jets and his Dolphins. And I just love the waiter there. And you know that I am not a person that has a lot of emotion or anything. And he's just the nicest guy to Sean. You could picture him hanging out with Sean all the time. He knows Sean's teams. And sometimes people talk to Sean like he's younger because he's small. And he just never did, which I really like. Sean didn't have to give his order. The guy knows his order. And I notice he's nice to other people who could be a little bit different. Like, I'm sure he thinks I'm different because I'm loud and I'm big and fat and everything, but he doesn't. And I saw another person come in, and he had Down syndrome. And the thing he did, he ran up to Keith, the waiter, and gave him a big hug, and Keith was just so kind. Then a woman came in, and with her husband, she had ALS, and literally had no movement in her body. She was hooked up to breathing machines, and he wheeled her in. Even though she wasn't going to eat, she was going to sit with the husband. How kind was Keith? He pulled up a chair instead of standing over her and sat next to and started to write it down. And I said to Sean, I can't believe this guy. And I started to cry. What?
You were crying?
And do you know, I called the owner over and said, I have to tell you, there is just something so special about this guy. And I said to Sean, I hope I don't embarrass you. And Sean kept saying, no.
Nope, you're not embarrassing.
No, I didn't embarrass him. Didn't know what it was. So I told our friend Maureen, I love the waiter at our town. I'm going again today. And he's just so good to everyone there. And she said, you know whose son that is? And I said, no, Cecilia. And it just hit me. She was my best friend growing up in Our Lady of Lourdes. We went to school together for a few years. Came from a troubled home, but she always brought in the misfits. And even though she had a problem in her house, her mother had an alcohol problem, she looked after everyone else. And that is what I saw in that guy, and that's why I felt that. Then I came to Ohio to visit you, told you that story. We're driving down the main street. We're stopped right in front of St. Cecilia's.
Wow.
With Clancy. So that's my story.
Wait, and is Cecilia alive or no?
No, she passed away.
She passed away.
She passed away from her troubles. But Keith, he's special. He has something in him. I'll tell you, if you want to ask people about socially correct, and if you mind, she just cuts this out. So if you can run it.
What's your question?
Well, something that I wonder what her people would think. And you're just always so nice to me and everything. But another thing of Kathy being crazy. Obviously, Sean's a little person. And he's my little person. But he really doesn't know anyone else who's like that. So I did tell Sean, and he was forgiving. I was walking Walter around the block, and all of a sudden, a little dog runs up to me. And I don't know where it's coming from. I hear a voice yell, come back. And I scoop up the dog. It's a Chihuahua. And it's a guy who just moved in, and he's a little person. It ends up he's 31 years old. And this is what I didn't know what was wrong. And he was okay, the guy. I said, I know this is completely wrong for me to bring this up, but I have to. Obviously, you're a little person. I have a nephew who's a little person that lives right by here. Do you belong to any organizations or anything like that? Which he does not, Little People of America, because there's no one around here. But the great debate among our family was, should I ever have done that? Was that the worst thing? Did I insult the guy?
No.
Well, I want to ask Sean. What do you think?
You didn't. No, you didn't offend them. No.
And if somebody came up to you and said that?
No.
No. So maybe they'll run into each other.
Yeah.
All right, I'm outside CVS and I am about to run an errand that I have been wanting to run for like a month now, aka I need teeth whitening strips. Like I have been looking in the mirror lately. I mean, you can probably see my teeth are literally the color of a school bus. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but like they're yellow. If you put it, especially, oh my gosh, if you compare my teeth to like the color of my coat, it's probably not even gonna look as bad right now because we're in natural lighting, but when I'm in like a bathroom with that fluorescent lighting or whatever, it's a bad situation. And I obviously like brush my teeth every day, of course, a few times a day, normally like 3 times, but it's just they're not getting whiter. Like I need to go in with the reinforcements. Let's do it.
Place your item in the bagging area.
I got the white strips. I didn't know what to get, but like I feel like I'm in such a state that I need quick results. So I got the Crest 3D white strips, 1 hour express, 20 strips, 10 treatments. So hopefully this can help me out a bit. And for the record, I don't whiten my teeth often. It's been years since I've gone through a full whitening cycle. So every few years, I feel like I need a boost, and I've been long overdue. Then I just got these cotton rounds for when I take off my makeup because I've been loving like cleansing balms lately. And then I did have one little impulse purchase. It was only like $6 though, but how pretty is this headband? Like I am such a sucker for a good headband. I'll cut this when I get home, but like I just think this is so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. And oh my gosh, you guys know what I looked for? I looked for that L'Oreal telescopic mascara that has been all over the news, all over TikTok, where a TikToker, I believe her name is Michaela, I'd never heard of her before this, she was doing a sponsorship for L'Oreal for this mascara, and she did 2 coats, and then all of a sudden on the 3rd coat, she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And she put on fake eyelashes. At least that's what it looked like. I mean, obviously no one knows for sure, but I mean, it really did look like it. Which there are 2 different camps. I mean, most people are like, what the heck, why did you do this? I've seen some people defend her saying like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But like, as someone who does sponsorships for various companies, I can't even imagine doing that because it's so deceitful. I can't explain it. Like, you guys are my friends. I would never want to fake results, because then when you guys go out and buy it, you're gonna see, wait a minute, that's not the result that I got. I just wasted my money. Any single thing I've done a sponsorship with, you can see the results and decide whether you want to do it or not. Like, for example, like my fake nails, or when I did like the Glamnetic lashes, or anything. Like, I don't know. I personally think it's kind of insane, because I don't know who she is or if she's close with her followers, but if you're close with your followers and you're gonna trick them, essentially, that's not cool. Not cool at all. So anyway, I wanted to try the mascara, but it was sold out. Like, it wasn't there. And you know what? I guess it goes to show, like, all press is good press, but I'm sure this will affect their credibility in the future. So I don't know, not a good thing. Okay, the placebo effect is so real, because I just did the Crest white strips once, and I'm not kidding, they already seem whiter. I'm like, perfect, I'm good to go. I don't even need to finish the rest. But yeah, I really do think it's the placebo effect, because obviously they don't work that fast. And that just goes to show, you know what? That's how you get out of a funk. The placebo effect. You just tell yourself you're happy, things are going well. Like, positive affirmations. And I know this sounds so lame and like the stupidest advice, but that's really all I can do right now, because I'm having to go into plan B. Normally, my biggest way to get out of a funk is through exercise, physical activity. It just clears my mind, but I've been dealing with foot problems and I just simply haven't been able to do that. So you know what? Just, it's all about the mindset, and I'm just taking off my makeup right now because I have pickleball tonight with some of our friends, and I hate wearing makeup to pickleball. I always feel like an absolute idiot. I just do when I don't have time to take it off, but I always just feel like, why are you wearing makeup to pickleball? So take this off, and then tonight should be a good one. Crazy than the time right now is the temperature. It is currently 5 degrees, but wait for it. The feels like is negative 13. And I think you guys can guess where I'm going right now. I already know people are gonna be like, Clancy, you have a problem. This is not okay. I'm addicted to pickleball. People in my real life are telling me it. People on the internet are telling me it. But listen, it wasn't our fault that we were playing at 6 a.m. Our friend Joe, who you guys saw, had to work starting at 11 a.m. and this was the only time he could play. And am I ever gonna say no to pickleball? No. So it was a really fun morning. It's so great being able to play early, because then you just feel charged the rest of the day. So I have no plans today, and that's the way I would like to keep it. It is so dangerously cold outside. Like, we just have a cold spell in these next couple of days. So I am trying to spend as little time outside as possible. I low-key love drinking out of mugs that are irrelevant to my life. And this right here is Sunday morning goals. A little bit of YouTube, a whole lot of coffee. So it's just the goals instead. But I put on my pictures for it. It was just the same things. I saved it literally. Well, unfortunately, I think I am sick. I've just been going through this roll of toilet paper. My nose is like a faucet. Like, that sounds disgusting, but it's not good. I feel fine otherwise, but I think it is pretty evident that I'm in a bit of a funk, or at least I was last week. Like, last week was a very funky week, if you want to call it that, but I'm slowly but surely coming out of it. It's just, I do struggle with winter, getting sick every 5 seconds. I mean, if you counted how many times my mom, Zach, and me have been sick in the past month and a half, it is insane. It's like, I don't understand, like, what is happening to our immune systems. My dad, by the way, like, I mean, knock on wood, but that man does not catch colds or things like that. Like, it's crazy. And he's actually coming back from Ireland tomorrow. So I know he's probably not excited. He loves being in Ireland. But it'll be nice to have him back, you know, have him back in the vlogs. But for me, whenever I'm in a funk, the biggest way to get out of it is just acknowledging I'm in it and then just doing things that make me happy. Like, for example, playing pickleball, which pickleball, I mean, that is not a cheap sport. It costs $45 to $50 an hour, which it depends if it's like non-peak times or peak times. So we've been playing at a lot of non-peak times and it adds up, which obviously, like, we're splitting it 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 different ways, but it definitely adds up. However, the one thing I think to myself is, all right, this is money that I could be spending at a bar. Like, if I go out just like a bar with friends and I get 4 drinks, that is a lot of money, and not to mention food, but I really haven't been drinking. It's nothing like strict with me. It's not like I'm like dry January. If the opportunity came up, like, and like I really wanted to drink, I would, but for the most part, I'm not like a big drinker. It's just if the opportunity arises, I definitely, like a few times a year is what I say. Like a few times a year, I'm like, let's go. And that just so happened to be like all at once with Christmas, New Year's Eve, and then New York City a week after that. Like, it just was too much. So I have not been drinking and I've been feeling great with that. We're slowly but surely getting out of this funk and I'm just doing things that make me happy. And by the way, I realized I never updated you guys. Zach got 2 MRIs last week. He got the results. Nothing. They didn't show anything. So he has another doctor's appointment next week. But yeah, I mean, I just know sometimes I don't bring anything up, but no news. Like, if I don't tell you guys on here, it just means like no news. Like, there's just no update, nothing. He's still in pain, but he's just trying to like totally rest his body, not work out, not do anything. And from my experience of, you know, when I hurt my feet and I wasn't able to really move, like, that will mess with your mind. So I know it's not easy for him, but I think this is just the best thing for him. And I am going to Cincinnati in less than a week. I'm so excited. It's Cincinnati/Dayton. So I'm so freaking excited. It's going to be amazing to see him again finally. So anyway, yeah, this vlog, I was considering even just tossing out the window, deleting it. It's just been like me complaining and just not myself. I don't know, but it's life. It's February. I expect this for February. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel. I just think overall with my life situation, that's another thing that's contributing to it. Like, I'm just like in this weird holding pattern. I love being home with my parents so much right now, but at the same time, it almost feels like life has paused because this isn't my life anymore, living at home. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just feel like I'm on this weird pause of life. And I think a lot of people felt this way with COVID. For me, I didn't really experience that just because I was working still. If anything, I was working more hours during COVID. So I didn't experience that like pause of life that a lot of people did. And now I'm realizing, like, okay, there are some benefits because you get to spend a lot of time with family and all of that, but I need my own place. I need, like, you get it. So anyway, love you guys so much. Next vlog hopefully is a lot happier. It will be, because not only is my dad coming home tomorrow, but I'm reuniting with a special person a lot of you guys might know. So that's all I'll say for now. I love you guys so much. I have to stop clapping. I know it's obnoxious, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.